Nora could describe loss aversion to a client with perfect clinical clarity. She had done it hundreds of times. She knew the research backward. She also knew with complete certainty that when her own investments dipped, even briefly, even predictably, something in her chest tightened, in a way that no upward movement ever quite matched. Knowing the mechanism doesn't make you immune to it. That is the first honest thing to understand about loss aversion. Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory, developed across decades and eventually recognized with a Nobel Prize, established something that reshaped how we understand human decision-making. Losses feel approximately twice as powerful as equivalent gains. Losing $100 produces roughly twice the psychological impact of gaining $100. This is not irrationality in the pejorative sense. It is a deeply wired response, likely shaped by evolutionary pressures in which losses of food, shelter, safety carried consequences that gains rarely matched in immediacy. But it doesn't stay in the ancestral savanna. It operates in every conversation where stakes are involved. Beat 1. Persuasion research consistently shows that framing a decision as loss avoidance is more motivating than framing it as gain-seeking. You will lose this opportunity if you wait. Activates a different system then. This is a great opportunity. Same situation, different psychological weight. Beat 2. In negotiations, the party that frames the status quo as something the other side stands to lose has a structural advantage. Not because they have better arguments, because they are speaking to a part of the mind that responds to threat before it evaluates logic. Beat 3. Loss aversion explains a pattern Nora saw repeatedly. Clients holding onto underperforming assets far too long. Not because they believed in them, but because selling felt like making the loss real. As long as they held, the loss existed only on paper. Selling would make it permanent. The mind treats that permanence as almost unbearable. Beat 4. It also explains why limited time, and only a few remaining, work in retail, in media, and in social situations. They are not creating desire for the thing. They are creating fear of its absence. The most important thing Nora learned, and the thing she now tells every client, is this: whenever you feel a sudden, urgent pressure to act, pause and ask yourself what you are being told you might lose. Because if the answer to that question is what is driving you, rather than the genuine value of what you are being offered, the mechanism is already running, and the decision that follows may feel like yours, but its architecture was built by someone else. We will return to this theme of self-generated belief in video 8, which examines something remarkable. The most persuasive voice in your head is very often your own. And that voice can be deliberately summoned by someone who never says a word themselves.